All right, we're going to start with Kanye West pushing Kim Kardashian closer and closer to the edge in this battle over their kids.
Let me read this song. This is how he was written. This is a trainer, but come to find out, he's actually Canadian intelligence, but this is my trainer.
He's never been afraid of attention or stirring up drama. But lately, his recent public posts have people wondering if the man once called a genius is actually hiding something darker. In the past few weeks, West's social media posts have taken a strange, almost creepy turn. What's got everyone talking? His surprising plans for what he's calling his final send-off. That's right. He is already planning his own funeral. And just like you'd expect from the guy who once said he was like Walt Disney, Steve Jobs, and Jesus all at once, it's over the top and full of chaos.
Formally. And they said they wondered if this is all just an act, which I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if Kanye's, got the puppet strings going.
Let's break down these strange funeral plans, because they honestly sound unreal. In his own words, he wants his funeral to last a whole week, not just a day or two, 7 full days. And each day would have a 10-hour-long service where people can speak freely without being cut off. Picture it, fans, friends, and maybe even critics talking about Ye for 70 hours total. But that's not all. Ye wants his body to be displayed at his late mother Donda's old house in Chicago. That's right. He plans to turn her former home into a kind of public memorial where people with tickets can visit and say goodbye. And here's the wildest part. He wants to charge an entry fee. According to Ye, that money would go toward helping improve the neighborhood around the house. It's a mix of generosity and showmanship, just like Ye himself.
As far as Meek Mills, Puff Daddy, whoever, none of these, all you fake hard, you.
People's reactions to Ye's funeral plans have been all over the place. Some fans think it's just another example of his bold, creative thinking, a new way to leave a legacy. But others are really worried. The whole idea feels dark and unsettling, and when you add in his recent social media posts, it's even more concerning. His tweets have been strange, offensive, and at times paranoid. He's claimed to know dark secrets about Hollywood, attacked other celebrities, and made weird, vague comments like people are out to get him. One tweet stood out. "Why do people keep calling me to take me out? It doesn't work that way." What does that even mean? Is Ye saying someone's trying to harm him? And if so, who and why?
Second option, I have you institutionalized again, where they medicate the crap out of you and you go back to zombie land forever.
This isn't the first time Ye has said he feels unsafe or targeted. Over the years, he's made mysterious comments about powerful people in the entertainment industry, suggesting that celebrities are being controlled behind the scenes. He said that fame in Hollywood often comes at the cost of freedom or even your soul. Back in 2022, he gave an interview where he talked about that idea, but most people just thought it was another Ye rant. Now, with his recent funeral talk and growing sense of paranoia, people are starting to wonder if there's something more going on. Ye has always walked a thin line between brilliance and chaos, but lately, that line seems more blurred than ever. His funeral plans might seem like just another wild idea, but paired with his fearful and strange behavior, they feel a lot darker. And it's not just fans who are noticing. People in the entertainment industry are reportedly concerned too. Some think he might know something secret, something that's put him at risk. Others believe he's simply losing control. But here's the thing. Ye has a history of saying shocking things that later turn out to have truth behind them. Remember when he called out the music industry for unfair contracts? Later, other artists came forward with similar stories. Or when he criticized big brands for using Black culture without giving back. That sparked bigger conversations about fairness and representation.
And I wouldn't be here. And on the news, they would have said it was because of a mental issue.
And then there are the names. He doesn't just talk in general terms. He actually calls people out. He's accused big names like Jay-Z, Bianco, LeBron James, and Shaquille O'Neal of being controlled by some powerful force. He's even pointed fingers at his ex-wife Kim Kardashian and her family, saying they're part of this supposed system of control. One of his most shocking claims, that his mother's death might have been part of a bigger conspiracy. That comment especially shook his fans and got a lot of people talking. These aren't just random thoughts. These are serious, personal accusations. And they leave people wondering, is any of this true? Or is Ye slipping further into something darker?
I ain't never been back to the hospital since 2015, but every time they say I'm crazy, it's just when I'm saying the truth.
As always with Ye, moments of insight often get lost in the chaos. Take his recent fight with Playboy Cardi, for example. What began as a work-related issue quickly turned into a strange public argument that involved Cardi's child and the child's mother. Then there's Ye's ongoing obsession with Taylor Swift. Things got even weirder when he claimed, without any proof, that both Justin Bieber and Harry Styles had been in relationships with her. This mix of truth and wild behavior makes Ye hard to figure out. One minute he's exposing secrets about the industry, and the next he's wrapped up in personal drama or throwing out bizarre claims. It almost feels like he wants people to call him crazy, so that any real truths he shares get ignored. But what if that's on purpose? Some of his most loyal fans think his strange behavior is a way to distract from the serious things he's really trying to say. They see him not as someone falling apart, but as a whistleblower, someone trying to reveal hidden truths while hiding behind chaos. To them, his funeral plans aren't just strange, they're symbolic. By charging people to attend and using the money to help local neighborhoods, Ye is sending a message. Even in death, he'll do more for his people than the industry ever has. It's a bold statement, one that paints him as a kind of martyr, willing to risk everything, even his image, to tell the truth.
They can't control me. You get what I'm saying? They can control Shaq. They can control Charles Barkley. They can control LeBron James.
But here's the thing about people who try to speak out. They often don't get a happy ending. And Ye seems to know that. He said so in his tweets, where he's questioned why so many famous people in the industry die young or under strange circumstances. He's brought up the deaths of Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, and Prince, hinting that maybe their deaths weren't as accidental as we've been told. It's a scary idea, and it makes Ye's recent behavior feel even more serious. If he really believes he could be next, then everything he's doing, every tweet, every rant, and even his plan for a week-long funeral might be his way of making sure he's remembered. It could be his way of making sure his voice is still heard, even if he's not here to speak for himself.
Because she has made this very clear. She wants her kids to have a relationship with their father. She's not trying to stand in the way of that. But when he says things like this, at some point, she has to be thinking, I don't know if this is good for our kids to be around.
And that's what makes this whole story so gripping and so unsettling. Whether you think Ye is paranoid or actually onto something, one thing's clear. He's not stopping. In fact, he seems more determined than ever to get his message out, no matter what it costs him. As the entertainment world watches, one big question hangs in the air. What does Ye know that the rest of us don't? But just when you thought things couldn't get more intense, his personal life took another wild turn. His marriage to Bianca Censori completely fell apart. What started as a fast, secretive romance, just weeks after his split from Kim Kardashian, has now ended in drama, betrayal, and a storm of rumors. Bianca, a talented architect from Australia who many thought was keeping Ye grounded, has reportedly walked away in a dramatic breakup. And the aftermath? It's messy, really messy.
Like you put yourself in a
Absolutely, I did. That was my fault.
maybe they're saying that you don't take accountability.
No, that was my fault. I didn't want to have children with this person after the first 2 months of being with her. But that wasn't God's plan.
I did.
People are talking nonstop about what really happened between Ye and Bianca. And it's far from a normal breakup. Their relationship didn't just have small problems, it was falling apart in a big way. Public arguments, constant social media drama, and Ye's refusal to calm down reportedly pushed Bianca to her limit. Sources say she grew more and more worried about his unpredictable behavior, especially after one controversial moment. Ye designed a completely see-through dress for her to wear at the 2025 Grammy Awards. It wasn't just about fashion. It felt like he was trying to control her image and every part of their relationship. But this isn't just a story about a messy split. This is Ye, after all, and nothing in his life is ever simple. According to reports, Bianca didn't just leave, she ran. In his new song, Bianca, Ye says she took his Maybach, tracked her own location through the car's app, and disappeared in the middle of the night. He even suggests she tried to have him committed to a hospital. In the track, Ye acts confused, wondering why she left, why she was panicking, and why she got medical help involved. But let's be honest, anyone watching his recent behavior probably isn't too surprised.
We get to a point where we don't think that Kanye West can shock us anymore, and then he says something that is so shocking, so alarming. It's one thing to go after Kim, say whatever you want, I guess. It's his ex-wife. It's horrible, but he says it. To say things that will redound against the kids is just unforgivable. I mean, we've been through this so many times. We say it all the time. Wearing the Nazi shirt is unforgivable. The Klan hood itself.
Bianca, who had supported Ye through many of his controversies and public breakdowns, reportedly couldn't handle it anymore. Sources say she began to feel trapped, not just by his unpredictable behavior, but by his growing paranoia. Ye allegedly became obsessed with the idea that people around him, friends, family, and even people in the industry, were out to get him. And this paranoia wasn't just something he posted online. Bianca told friends that his constant talk about being watched and controlled stopped sounding like warnings and started to feel overwhelming and scary. The final straw: Ye's public support for scene Diddy Combs, who's currently facing serious legal issues. That move alone made Bianca feel even more uneasy, and may have been what pushed her to finally walk away.
I thought Diddy would be throwing all his celebrity mates under the bus.
I mean, that could potentially be coming when it's time for court and when it's time for him to testify. But what we're seeing right now is how important public relations really are to Sean Combs. He's desperately trying to control the narrative behind bars, allowing his attorneys to do documents.
But it wasn't just Ye's public choices that worried Bianca. It was the private moments, too. People close to them say Ye became obsessed with tracking where she was, constantly checking the Maybach app to see her location. He claimed it was to protect her, saying he believed they were both being targeted. But to others, it felt more like control than care. Bianca's friends described her life with Ye as suffocating. They said the constant paranoia and feeling like she was being watched made it hard for her to breathe, let alone make her own choices. There were also growing tensions between Bianca and the people closest to Ye. He's known for surrounding himself with a tight group of loyal advisors, people who have stood by him through all his ups and downs. But insiders say Bianca didn't get along with them. Some of them saw her as an outsider, someone who was messing with the balance of Ye's world. There were arguments, cold silences, and even open hostility. And the more Bianca tried to stand up for herself, the more she felt pushed aside, as if Ye cared more about keeping his inner circle happy than supporting her.
You know, the thing about kids at some point here, and not for the younger ones, it's at some point. For North, it's right now, right? That even if she doesn't see it, even if somehow Kim is able to keep that away from her, kids that her friends at school, they're going to know about it. They're going to see it, and it puts kids in a horrible situation.
One of the clearest signs that Ye and Bianca's relationship was falling apart came when he decided to release a new song featuring Diddy, their daughter North, and others. Behind the scenes, Bianca had begged Ye not to go through with it, just like Kim Kardashian had. Both women were worried about the backlash, but Ye didn't listen. He went ahead with the release anyway. For Bianca, it wasn't just about the song, it was about a pattern. She felt like Yi constantly ignored her, and this time it really hit her. Her voice didn't matter to him anymore. According to sources, that was the moment she knew things were truly over. Now about Diddy, his connection to Yi is a whole other controversy. Their relationship has always been rocky, but Yi's choice to feature both Diddy and North in the same song shocked a lot of people, especially those close to him. Kim was furious. Reports say she begged Yi not to include their daughter, and even got lawyers involved to try and stop the release. She didn't want North connected in any way to Diddy, who's facing serious legal trouble. But Yi, as always, didn't back down. The result? Total chaos and a storm of backlash that's still unfolding.
In the day, just to tell the truth, so hopefully we can get down to the bottom of this. I'm 100%, the charges against me are 100% false. Hopefully, due to time, we'll start to see that.
Kim is now reportedly thinking about going back to court to take away Ye's decision-making power when it comes to their kids. If that happens, it could completely change their current custody agreement. And honestly, it's not surprising. Ye's choice to include their daughter North in a song linked to Diddy, a man facing serious allegations, seems careless and possibly harmful. But Yi didn't back down. Instead, he doubled down like he usually does. He even posted screenshots of texts with Kim, accusing her of trying to control him. He threatened to go to war if she didn't stop. It's the kind of drama that feels like something out of a movie. Two major celebrities locked in a messy fight, with their kids stuck in the middle.
A U.S. judge has ruled that the rapper and producer Sean Diddy Combs will stand trial on federal trafficking and racketeering charges in May. He'll be held in prison until then. Sean Combs has pleaded not guilty to charges that he used his business empire to transport women and male workers across state lines to take part in recorded performances. If convicted, he could face a life sentence.
And then there's the leaked phone call with Diddy, which made everything even more intense. In the call, Diddy warns Yi to be careful, because they're trying to end us. His serious tone, along with a thank you to Yi for helping take care of his kids, has sparked a ton of rumors. Some people think Diddy is just another part of Yi's story about the industry being full of secrets and betrayal. Others think maybe the two of them actually share some hidden knowledge, like they've both been hurt by the same powerful system. No matter what, the phone call has only added more fuel to the fire. Fans and critics are going over every word, trying to figure out what it really means. And in the bigger picture, Yi's recent rants about celebrities being controlled and about Hollywood sacrifices might sound wild to some, but a lot of his fans take them seriously. These fans believe Yi isn't just paranoid. They think he's telling the truth. They see his bold claims about people like Jay-Z and Beyonce as proof that he's exposing a real conspiracy. Whether you believe him or not, it's clear Yi's not afraid to speak out, and that's made him one of the most controversial figures in the industry.
Hey, real quickly, all that commissary stuff, he's not getting any of that because people in the shoe have an abbreviated list. So he's out of luck. No stake for him. Yeah, he is on watch. This guy thought he would have went home. All of a sudden, he didn't get bond. Remember, the first night that he was there.
But here's the thing, when you're Yi, controversy isn't just something that happens. It's what keeps everything moving. And right now, things are louder and messier than ever. Between his falling apart marriage, his growing fight with Kim, and his dark claims about the music industry, Yi seems like a man with a mission. But where that mission is going, and whether it ends with people seeing him as right or totally lost, is still unclear. So what do you think? Is Yi telling the truth and revealing things others are too afraid to say? Or is he losing control and slipping deeper into paranoia? Are his actions the result of real pressure? Or is there a hidden plan behind all the chaos? Let us know what you think in the comments. See you next time.